It's Emily T. Gail Talk Story, and I'm delighted to be at the Mitsubishi Electric Championship. It's the 26th year here at Hualalai on the Big Island of Hawaii, the Four Seasons Resort, Hualalai. And I'm delighted to Frank and Laura Sayre, Dr. Frank Sayre, my longtime dentist, retired now, and Laura was my hygienist. But they're the founders of the Daniel Sayre Foundation, which is a wonderful organization that raises funds for the not Detroit. Frank is from Detroit, which I love. That's our link together. The Hawaii Fire Department. And I want you to tell a little bit, if you don't mind, because I always like to hear from you, about your son losing his life in a hiking accident and what motivated you to do this valiant effort for the last 20 plus years for our community.
Go ahead.
Oh, me? Okay. In August of 1997, our 25-year-old son, Dan, who had dropped out of college after 3 years at Eastern Michigan University, that Emily knows well, and came out here. He couldn't decide on a major, so he wanted to take some time and kind of find himself, and he did for about 3 years, and then he decided to go back. But the day before he was going to leave to go back to the mainland, he went hiking by himself up north in Pololu Valley. And because he was by himself, we don't know what happened, but in the back of the valley there was a beautiful waterfall, and he was back near there and fell from the trail that was cut into the face of the cliff and fell probably, I don't know, 500 feet to his death. And it took a day or so for them to find him. We were going crazy because he was missing and we couldn't find him, didn't know where he was. And fire department came from Hilo, their search and rescue team from Waikea, and it took them 10 hours to be able to recover his body. And the big reason for that length of time that it took them is they didn't have ropes long enough to rappel down into the valley to get him. And so, long story short, we ended up forming a foundation to help purchase equipment for the fire department, and we found out as time went by just how narrow their safety net was and what they didn't have, and it was just absolutely almost criminal that they had to go in these dangerous situations with the equipment and the training, or lack thereof, that they had. So that was what happened in 1997, and Laura, why don't you take it from there to here?
Well, I would like to just mention that, you know, the education to our community of just how much the fire department did not have for rescues they had been making for so many years, and what they weren't able to do when it came to rescues, the lives that have been saved because of some of the equipment that you have provided over the years. So Laura, particularly the last couple of years, that we just had a fire where my community, Waikoloa Village, we all had to evacuate, and it was your couple trucks that talk about that. I mean, that's just one example.
Well, I think to go back to the heroic efforts of the fire crews without equipment that they needed, I think they're very good at what they do, and sometimes maybe too good at what they do with what they have. And so you know, they did a great job. We probably have one of the best fire departments in the world, and they were very ingenious about how they went about rescuing people, even though they didn't have all the latest in technology.
Yeah, because you made videos when you do your annual dinner of showing some of those rescues that were like, how in the world did they have the creativity, the imagination, and the fortitude and talent to rescue people from caves, you know, and under the water? I mean, it's just amazing what we've all learned about what we didn't know.
Yeah.
Well, when we first got started, we found out that they had old diving equipment. Their scuba tanks were 40 years old. Their regulators were 20 years old. The Ocean Safety Division had waterlogged rescue boards because they didn't have new ones. Their budget for the entire island for all of the Ocean Safety Division was $2,200 for the whole year.
Poor guys were buying their own sunscreen.
Yeah, I remember when you got those boards for down at the beaches,
Yes.
and within a week or two, they were used to save some people
Yeah.
because of the riptide, or it's so rough when people were boogie boarding. I want to mention the reason we're talking to Frank and Laura out here at the Mitsubishi Electric Championship is they're one of the beneficiaries of the monies that are raised, and a lot of money's been raised in the 25 years going on 26. And I was delighted that the Daniel Sayre Foundation became one of the beneficiaries. I really advocated that, as I try to do everywhere I go. But I think there's so many of us in the community that love always having you in mind when it comes to telling somebody else in the community how to support. I just got the invitation the other day for the dinner coming up, September, over Labor Day weekend.
We hope.
Okay, yeah, that you've had to put off, but what a wonderful event that is. So here you're getting ready for a presentation this afternoon. Going to be out there on the 18th tee here at the Hualalai Resort, presenting the check from last year, and everybody saying some nice words with Kelly Fleer, the tournament manager of the Mitsubishi Electric Championship. So I'm glad I was able to grab you before you head out there, or we're all going to head out there. Look at the beautiful lei. You want to put that on them?
Yes, I would be.
Yeah.
Beautiful pink.
Yay! So that's JJ, and her husband Kelly is the tournament manager. They've been a wonderful team all these years, and Cheryl, who helps them in the office and the organizing. So Frank and Laura, all the best. Enjoy
Emily.
today. We'll
Thanks,
see you
Emily.
during the
Really
week,
great to see you.
and we'll
Just to
be in touch.
kind of close this out.
Yeah, we've got
that,
plenty of time as much as.
We've been able to get 5 fire trucks. We have an engine truck coming, and the coup de grace is that at the end of October we will be getting our very first helicopter purchased by the foundation.
I may have jumped the gun. I sent Kelly that email the other day.
Yeah, an Airbus H-125 medical helicopter that will replace the one that's out at the South Kahala station
Which
right
is
now.
30 years old and breaks down.
Wow, we'll talk about that. That was a grant that, obviously the effort
No, it
is.
was not a grant. It was.
It was a gift.
It was a gift from benefactors.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is amazing. Benefactors are out there doing anonymously and
Yes.
in all kinds of ways. And the thing that's so important to point out is it's not just locals that are saved, it's visitors every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody
You know.
that sets foot on the island is a possible need of their expertise and their care.
So we're very excited about it.
Yeah, I mean, at any moment's time, somebody, I just happen to think right now of my dear friend Ernie Kunataki, who drowned down at the end of the world, down by the old Kona Surf, and he dove in to save somebody that had gone into the water,
Yeah.
and it happens, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, they just did an amazing rescue a week ago from somebody who, when the surf was really high, somebody decided to jump in at that very same spot just to go swimming.
I saw
and
that.
they had to rescue him.
With the
With the
he was on the,
helicopter and the
yeah.
Helicopter, yeah.
Great. Well, you look great in your
Thank you
leis.
so
You
much.
wear them
Oh,
well,
thanks,
and it's so
Emily.
great to see you. Here come some of the others. Is that Alan Clark? And is that Larry?
Larry Webb.
Larry Webb, Alan Clark.
Clark.
Oh, you used to be president of the Rotary Club of Kona. Hi, everybody. Wow, everybody going out for their check presentation?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, all of you, boy, kudos all the years that you've been doing this. It's just fantastic.
Alan Clark, 26 years.
Yeah, I know that, Alan.
You've been there the whole time.
Yeah, I've been working with them a lot, so we'll catch you. Catch you later. We just